Hi, welcome to VolleySpike. In this tutorial we'll be looking at how to use the main scoring screen. To get to this point we've downloaded match data, set up the match and configured the players for the first set. You can refer to our previous training videos to see how to get to this point. Let's go to the VolleySpike to continue with our tutorial. On the main menu, if you click the Continue First Set button, this will bring up the main screen. The orientation of the screen will change, so you will need to rotate your device accordingly. To start, let's look at the main screen layout. Across the top of the screen we have the name of the teams. This is just for reference, so you know what team is on what side. On the next row we have the row of buttons that perform the various tasks. To start, we have the undo button. This is used to just undo the last step. The next button is the team sanction button that is used to apply sanctions to any team player. Let's click this button. You will see a list of players and also team officials. First, let's select a player you wish to apply the sanction to. This brings up the sanction select screen, and from here you can choose the sanction to apply to the player or official. Let's pick a warning. This will take you back to the main screen. You will now be able to see the warning flag applied to the selected player. In this case, player number 8. Next we have the time delay button. This is used to apply time delay sanctions to a team. Let's click this button. You'll be prompted to confirm this action. This will increment the counter on the button and also give the team a warning sanction. If clicked again, the team will get a red sanction. Next we have the timeout button. This is used when a team calls timeouts. When you click the timeout button, you are prompted and the count on the timeout button will be incremented. On the next row down we have the score button. This is used to register scores and will increment the score counter. Also on this row we have the serving indicator. This shows which side is currently serving, and next to that is the score for that team. Finally, in the centre is the current set wins for each team. The next section is court layout. And from here we can apply different actions to each player on the court. On the outside this shows the current libero players, and then inside we have the court layout. If we click on one of the players on the court, this will bring up the player action screen. From here we can choose an action to perform against the player in that court position. The first action is the player substitution. Let's click on this button. You will be presented with available players to substitute with. Let's choose one. You will now see a number next to the player as well as the player we swapped with on the bench. This indicates who swapped with who. If we click on the player again and substitute for a second time, we don't need to pick the player to substitute with because you can only swap back with the player we originally swapped with. You will now see that the player on the bench has a strike through as an indication this player cannot be swapped again. If you do try and swap the player again for a third time, you will get a warning saying you cannot swap the player. Next, let's look at the sanction action. Let's pick a different player and click the player sanction button. This will bring up the sanction selection screen and will show the available sanction you can apply to the player. If we choose a warning or a sanction, then the sanction is just applied. But if we choose expulsion or disqualification, then we will need to choose a replacement player, and if there is no player available to substitute, a warning is brought up to say the other team will win the set. Let's just click a sanction for now and you will see there is a sanction flag against the player. The final action is when a player gets injured. Let's pick a player and select the player injury. We will be presented with the available players we can swap with. Once we have chosen a player, our original player will be greyed out because they cannot return to the court, and also a little plus symbol indicates the player is injured. In the middle of the screen you will see the undo list. This displays the last 5 actions performed. To roll back to that point, click on one of the buttons and you will be prompted to confirm this action, and our set will be rolled back to that point in time. Warning, you cannot undo this once you have performed the undo operation. At the beginning of a match you will notice 2 buttons, Set Up Set and Game Start. The game start indicates the current position, but if you have set up the setting correctly, the setup set button allows you to go back to setting this setup. Finally, the bottom row shows the bench players that we have available for each of the teams. If you click on a bench player, you can apply a player sanction to this player. To help during the scoring, you will get various warnings for things like timeouts, and if the maximum player swap is reached and so on, these then help prompt you to perform an action or warn of illegal actions. When a team wins, you will be prompted with the winning team, and then the results screen will be shown. Once you get the OK button, you'll be taken back to the main menu. You can reopen the results screen at any time by clicking the result button on the main menu. To start the next set, you will need to click the Set Up Second Set button on the menu. You'll be taken to the Player Select screen. Here you can set up the next player for the second set. This is repeated for all sets until the match is completed. This concludes this tutorial. Thank you for watching.